What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. The debt ceiling is a growing concern for millions of Americans right now. And we're seeing more and more headlines like this. Seniors hope the debt ceiling is solved before impacting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And it's not just seniors, but, well, pretty much everybody in the country because the US government could default or will default if they don't get the debt ceiling fixed. And, well, look at what is in the news here today. The Treasury is taking another extraordinary step to avoid default. Yeah, that's right. Take a look at this. Yeah, the US Treasury Department is expanding the quote extraordinary measures that it is resorting to in order to stave off a US debt default while lawmakers in Congress fight over what to do over the debt limit, which means the US government cannot borrow any more money or print any more money until Congress basically allows it to, and Republicans and Democrats come to an agreement and basically pass a law to allow it to. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said in a letter to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a Republican from California, and other congressional leaders that she would suspend reinvestment into a large government retirement fund. So this is now affecting lots and lots of people's retirement funds here after announcing similar actions last week as well as the US reaches its debt ceiling. So this is now affecting people's retirement funds already. This comes after the US already reached its technical borrowing limit of $31.4 trillion last week. But Janet Yellen told lawmakers that the Treasury would be able to enact accounting moves, such as the one announced Tuesday, to be able to pay the government's bills until sometime at the beginning of June, which really only leaves February, March, April, and May. She has also said the department will cash in some existing investments and suspend reinvestment into other retirement plan affecting probably millions of seniors' retirement plans. Experts have warned that a U.S. default on its debt would be disastrous for the economy. A new analysis from Moody's this week predicted that a default could cost 6 million jobs and push the unemployment rate to 7%, which is currently double what the unemployment rate is now, and would literally cost millions of people's jobs, would force the US government into default, would cause interest rates to go way higher than they are now. Remember, the Federal Reserve is set to already raise interest rates here yet again this year in just a matter of days, and that will cause credit card interest rates to go higher, mortgage rates to go higher, and personal loans to go higher, car loans to go higher as if they weren't high enough, all these things. And a U.S. government default would be pretty much the worst economic collapse that we could all think about. So at this point, the US government cannot borrow any more money and cannot print any more money until Congress comes to an agreement to basically allow it to do so. A lot of people have called for the debt limit to be basically abolished and to get rid of it because almost all spending has to be approved by Congress. So, and right now, and even last year, pretty much 99.9% of all spending had to be approved by Republicans and Democrats. Remember that you needed 60 votes in the Senate to approve most bills, and you needed Republican support on that. Now, with Republicans in control of the House as well, that even makes it more so that Republicans and Democrats need to approve both sets of bills from both sides. So the debt limit just makes it a more controversial tool. With it's kind of like a double check and balance. And the problem is if they don't approve this, it's like a government shutdown, but much worse. And it puts potential things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and anything that is government funded at risk. Because if the government doesn't have money, it's a problem. It's a problem. President Biden met here with Democratic leaders as the debt showdown looms. Here is what President Biden had to say. Take a listen.
And we're going to discuss how we can continue to build on the progress, ultimately lowering the cost for middle class and working class families. You know, we've talked a lot about this around the table with folks here, that I decided this time out, I think you all are in the same boat. I want the wealthy to continue to be able to do well, but look, I'm tired of trickle-down economics. I want to build this economy from the bottom up and the middle out. When that happens, poor folks have a shot, middle class does well, and the wealthy never get hurt. They're doing just fine. And so we also want to talk about the extreme Republican economic plans. Apparently they're genuinely serious about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, and I love their 30% sales tax. We want to talk a lot about that. But look, I have no intention of letting the Republicans wreck our economy, nor does anybody around this table, in my view.
After the meeting, Schumer told reporters at the White House that the gathering underscored the contrast between our party, the Democrats, and the Republicans, as he challenged the GOP lawmakers to put forward a proposal on the debt limit and show us what the Republicans actually want to cut, or put something on paper to show us what they want to do. Schumer said, quote, "Democrats are unified, Republicans are in chaos." That's a quote from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. House Minority Leader from the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, said, quote, "We have a responsibility to pay the debts that the Congress has already incurred. That is what the debt ceiling is about." Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday, "I think it is entirely reasonable for the new speaker and his team to put spending reduction on the table." Ron Wyden says about the last time this happened, "We know what happened last time. It almost threw the economy into the ditch. That's the lesson." So yeah, the 30% sales tax would basically replace the normal tax. It's a Republican bill to abolish the tax code that you can see here. And you can see here some Republican representatives, conservatives, are breathing new life into an old proposal to do away with income taxes, payroll taxes, and estate taxes, and even the IRS itself, in favor of supersized sales taxes that would account for nearly all government revenues. Versions of the far-reaching plan have been around for decades, but frustration over the $80 billion funding boost for the IRS passed by Democrats last year has the Republicans wanting to make bold statements about changing the tax code and getting rid of the IRS completely. The Fair Tax Act, introduced by Republicans Buddy Carter and supported by at least 30 other Republicans, would institute a massive 30% sales tax on all purchases in exchange for doing away with income, Social Security, and Medicare taxes. Now, the problem with this is that the majority of Americans actually don't pay taxes at all, at least income taxes, okay? You can see here in 2020, 61% of Americans actually paid no federal income taxes, okay? A lot of retirees don't pay any federal income taxes. And if you paid some federal income taxes throughout the year, but if you got a tax refund that equated to more than what you paid during the year, and it equaled out as a zero. Your tax refund was more than what you paid during the year in federal taxes. You essentially paid $0. And remember, stimulus checks throughout the year actually are a tax refund. Okay, so that goes back to what you got back. Also, child tax credits are a refund back, even if you don't pay taxes. Technically, those are a refund. And in 2021, I think it was 56% of Americans. In 2021, 56% of Americans paid no federal income tax. So as you can see, the majority of Americans actually paid no federal income tax. This is just federal income tax. Of course, there's, some states have sales tax, some states don't. There's property tax if you're a property tax owner or not. But a 30% sales tax on everything you go to buy, like gas or food or anything at Walmart or anything like that, would actually raise taxes on everybody. Because the majority, so basically, if you're in the lower 60% of income earners, you probably pay no taxes or very little taxes. So believe it or not, a 30% sales tax would be a huge increase. So basically, whenever you go to buy groceries, if you pay $100 for groceries, that would now be $130 because there'd be a 30% sales tax on everything. So let me know your thoughts on this. But there would be no federal income tax, and there'd be no Social Security taxes and stuff like that. But if you're retired, you're already not paying Social Security taxes. And if you're in the lower income brackets, chances are you're not paying federal income taxes, or maybe you're paying a small amount. But a 30% sales tax on everything, well, that would be on everything. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? This is basically like a flat tax on everybody, if you've ever heard of that. So this is a proposal that is out right now. This is an actual bill that's out right now that has not been passed yet. But I will keep you up to date here on this and everything that Congress is up to right now. So let me know your thoughts here. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on new daily updates and what Congress is trying to do with our lives here on a daily basis. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks so much for hitting the like button and share these videos with anybody that needs to hear this information. Here are some videos you can watch next. Here is a video about $1,000 and $1,500 checks going out to millions of Americans that you might not even know about. So click on that video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.